Whoa.
No music, nothing.
Got it. Whoa. I look hungover, Matt, and I'm not.
Tired.
Got it. HFR.
I look sunburned, and I am.
Mistrade Matt Davio, the vowels. The Italian himself burns like an Irishman. Myself, Irish, but mostly, black Irish from Kinsale. I tan beautifully.
I know.
I do look a little swollen today. I don't know why. Maybe it was the 700 cocktails I had over the weekend. The marketvitals.io is our community. Market Vitals is the stream. I got a new studio, Matt. The lighting is not quite right, but I'll be working on that. It'll be better. How you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. Little lack of sleep last night, but
well, we got the first of the month trading. Actually, it's May 2nd, but the monthly charts we're going to share in a little bit. Matt, for sure, we both say that we've seen a lot of rhetoric about that the bottom is in. And when I point out these monthly charts, we might have a rally. We might have a short-term rip your face off rally. But these longer-term charts, for me anyway, for this caballero, are not indicative of a bottom being put in yet.
Yeah, and I think still the big thing for me is the bonds, right? They did have a rally, and even with that rally from 138 to 143 there at the end of second half of April, now we're back testing this low again, 138.14, and somebody's selling. Is it the Fed? Is it China?
What's the interesting thing to me that I just kind of noticed today? We got the Fed this week for sure.
We do have the Fed, and we do have jobs.
Yeah. So it's a big week, but the Fed, still with interest rates near zero. But if you look at the euro dollar, the DES 23 trading 96.53, Matt, that's 3.5% that Fed rate will be in a year and a half. So the trajectory of rates is not found a bottom for sure.
Yeah, well, maybe, again, maybe that rally will come when they, cut another quarter and they say we're going to pause for a while or whatever, maybe
raise another quarter. How can they pause? Matt, speaking of pause,
I'm just saying they can say whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes it's just the talk and the rhetoric that gets it done.
All right. Speaking of rhetoric, let's go over it, Matt, because we do it every episode. The breaking news from the World Economic Forum. This was breaking in January. The good news is the elites across the world trust each other more and more. The bad news is the majority of the rest of us schmucks trust their elites less. Now, why would that be? Well, maybe it's because of this. And this was shared by Edward. Nancy Pelosi, net worth 135 million, 33 years in politics. Good job, right? And then the fearless leader of Ukraine, 3 years in politics, a former actor, now worth 596 million roughly. Do you understand why I don't trust any of it?
Right. I think you're in the wrong business. You should be in politics.
I got a voice for politics for sure. All right, Matt. The other thing happening for sure is just a little outside. Actually, the grains just had a nice little pop comeback. But let's look at the corn and the beans in particular. The corn had the pop back. Bring it up.
I'll bring it up. I'm starting with wheat. because you said corn and beans. This again, it's been struggling the last couple of days. It struggled, mightily Friday and down more today. So this is weak. This is a couple week chart. And if we were to pull back a little bit, you can see we've been kind of just going nowhere for quite a while. I mean, this is, this blow off happened in early March. Again, the Putin push, right? But since then, there hasn't been a lot of follow through. The last 6 weeks have just been kind of cosine, little sine wave going on here, not a heck of a lot. Corn also just kind of, it did go to new highs since this was the Putin high. Corn continues to go higher. Yeah, it's off a little bit today, off 2%, but not far. I mean, 824 we just saw last week on the 29th. So it's down, a couple percent from there. Doesn't I wouldn't be too worried, like you said there. That still looks solidly in the bull camp. And then the beans, this also just kind of sine waving. So
it's amazing as in the history of grain trading, these ranges are for sure,
they're
not normal.
No.
And not only that, are the intraday ranges not normal, but the width of that profile is unbelievable. And you got to understand that's, if you're long, it might go check out the bottom of that profile, that longer profile that you just had up.
Yeah, for sure. And it's, so again, you got to be careful in here, because if you're not long already, to your point, it could go down here to, 1590. And as long as that holds, and that's, that's another 2.5% from the 2.5% they're down today. So yeah, it's, again, if you're trading these, you better, lock it down and take the profits when you can. And, but today, pretty much, whoosh, at least in the beans.
All right, Matt. Since we're on a commodity segment here, Mondays we do commodities. I just made that up. Let's take a look at the oil.
Sure. I mean, oil again. As a matter of fact, I was going to say natural gas has come back up. It was back up here, hit 755 overnight. Let's start with that, and then I'll bring up crude. Yeah, so we're back here to 747 here on nat gas. So this continues to, it did sell off down to the 630 level that we talked about after it ran to that 8 level. But now it's coming back again. It ran all the way down here.
Amazing too for this time of year for natural gas.
It really is
like this.
It really is. It's powerful. And again, bullish. That retrace was a good buy, and that, from there we're sitting right up here at the golden ratio. So it's going to have to, and it's been above it, but it's going to have to close above it. It's going to have to hold above it for that to be continuing bullish. Otherwise, you might have a good short sale test here, right in this zone. I would check back at around 11:30 here on the West Coast when these are closer to closing and see where it is. But again, these are violent moves. I mean, you talk about the moves in the grains. I mean, look how wide the profile is on this in the price range. And, these things, like if you're trading the NG, I mean, it's
not for the faint of heart.
It can make you and bust you like no other. It is a vicious thing. Even the micros are trading pretty thick. So good trading vehicle going on here for active traders. Oil it was coming down a little bit last week, and this morning it's up about 4 cents, 104.73 right now. It was a little bit higher.
And again, look at the meat of that profile.
But here's the thing, like these moves today, again, I mean, you're talking, we were up here as the market, this was the close on Friday at 108, 108-ish. And then we went all the way down here to 100, basically 130 cents. And now we're back in the middle, in the last week action. So, I mean, again, this thing still hasn't really, broken out of that wedge that we talked about last week. But you got to watch that. Like it's looking like anything could happen, Bob. I mean, this, it's funny, like it, it's like this whole Ukraine thing, like it really got quiet there. I don't know if you noticed for the last couple of weeks. It really did. Like nobody was talking about anything.
Yeah, and then Pelosi and
And then
Chef, the most trusted of a DC represent
the
Schiff,
two, the two,
Chef.
yeah, the two
go up in
California,
Ukraine. I
the
mean,
two Californians run over to Ukraine supposedly, or maybe they're just on the set somewhere else. I don't know where they are. I mean, who knows? Maybe they flew him in. You know, they're all underground on the movie set. I don't know what's going on. This movie is getting crazier and crazier by the minute.
all right, let's talk monthly because we rolled the monthly. Sell in May, go away is the popular vernacular in trading. If I could share, Matthew, how about the song I shared inside the network? A little French. I love French singing. It's very soothing.
You like it, huh?
Very soothing. I still can't share.
Yeah, you can.
Yes, I can. All right, this is the monthly. And again, if this was an hourly chart, Matt, I would be saying you got to be careful being long here. Now you fully rolled over the bands. We got negative slope to the lower momentum level, key, 33,699. This is Dow Jones futures. But that's a negative looking chart, longer term, and this is a monthly. I mean, so a bottom in, I don't know. It doesn't. And how about the COVID lows that you've been calling out? I mean, 18,000, we're at 32. That's all I want to say about that. Let's move on down. Let's go to the SPOOs. You look at this one, haven't actually got negative slope yet on that lower standard deviation band, but still rolling over, low momentum on the monthly. If you look past, till 2006, not very often are we here. And then the NASDAQ, again, fully rolled over, negative slope, falling away potential to the downside on the lower collar. This is not a powerful looking chart right now. Now, obviously, if the bottom's in, they're going to kick save this thing, and we're going to go take out 13,709 and close the month above it. Obviously, first of the month, there's a shitload of time. And then the worst looking of them all is the Russell, fully just right-sided, falling away potential on the standard deviation lines. You look at that and tell me the bottom's in. I got some swamp property for you in Mississippi that is available.
Right.
You can build on it.
Right.
That's just what
Yeah, no, this is the thing. And then, the SPOOs are actually really red today, right? And then the NASDAQ's been green mostly today, but now it's gone red again. I mean, this is not, I've been telling you this for a couple of weeks. This is not an easy market to trade.
Now, this morning was a complete gyration.
Yeah. Well, again, I avoid the Monday open.
Especially Monday of the beginning of a month.
Yeah. There's, money being put to work, assets being put to work, and yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, Fed this week, Fed on Wednesday, and then we have the jobs on Friday. So
Matt, I want to bring one more thing back up because this continues.
I would like to see the monthly on the Bitcoin.
I can do that. Let me just say this. Speaking of elites and trusting each other, somebody shared a chart of the 1929 stock market crash, and they had said the market had been drifting lower for months. It wasn't until the elites decided, hey, fuck you, I'm getting out.
Right.
And the other elites saying, wait a second, hold on, JP Morgan, are you kidding me? Hold. And then JP Morgan, by the way, is selling everything that he can.
Right.
So it gets very interesting when the elites trust each other less and less. And you know how that happens? When the elites start being less elite financially. You want to see cocksuckery at a giant level. Wait till these people start getting squeezed and turn on each other. Man, it'll be like nothing else we've seen in several generations. All right, sharing the Bitcoin. Let's go back here. Monthly. Let's go all the way up, and we're not using futures. We're using Coinbase's. and actually handling it, I mean, in the same area. How does this hold in if the equities collapse?
Right.
Now, on the flip side of that, if we can truly get a decoupling of Bitcoin as all assets being the same that we've been saying for 2 years now on the show, it gets interesting. But I don't know how that happens because it hasn't happened like that since we've been paying attention.
Right.
So,
yeah, and let me share one real quick here also, because we haven't talked about it in a while. But Coinbase, it's been a year. This thing came public April 14th, so we just crossed the 1 year mark. Where again, this opened at 379, went to 429 that day it opened, and Bob, it's all the way traded as low as like 113. I don't know about you, but that's not been a good.
I mean, every single person that owns it's underwater, just about.
Pretty much. Although it's up $7 today, they got earnings coming a week from tomorrow. So there you go. That's in play right now. But I just thought that was interesting because we haven't talked about it in a while. And good Lord, 429 to 113. The other one that I was looking at just a minute ago, let me bring this up real quick, because you remember how, and it's probably been about a year since Robolex. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Look at this thing. 141. And again, it came public last March, same time. All these things, the market basically, peaked 140, ran all the way up at the end of the year with a lot of these other issues. And then 141 down to 29. Bob, it's taken 4 months. 4 months.
I'm sorry if you're getting up today looking at your Rolex and saying, I have to pawn my Rolex to keep in my Robolex.
And the thing is, the thing's still 18.6 billion market cap. Like that could probably go to $3 and still be overvalued.
And what does Robolex do? Does anybody know?
Some online game for kids, I think.
Oh, it's a clown world after all.
I'm sure Kathy Wood's buying it down here because she bought it at 141 and she's averaging it down here at 29.
All right, Lee, you're awful quiet in the gallery. Anything out of Lee today?
Speaking of, Kathy, let's just take a look at.
Let's look at ARK.
ARK, the Herald Angel, and 46 was the low, and again 48.33 up today, 2.6%. Why? Because it's Monday. Why not? I mean, there's no other reason.
Go back here because let's see how many people. Anybody from mid 2020 that bought it? It's underwater now.
Oh yeah, I mean this is July here, June, and we're still not even to the price where we are now. I mean, really, it's again, this 33 was the COVID low, and think about this: the pre-COVID high was 61-ish. So it's from that it's about 30% lower. From 61 to 46 was the low. It's here. I mean, and again, there's nothing bullish about this chart.
And again, back to this, wait till the elites start elitely liquidating their elite holdings, which are not nearly as elite anymore. And honestly, and when we just looked at these monthlies, we're not off anything from the highs.
No.
In total respect.
No, I mean, really, we're not far from the highs, right? I mean,
exactly.
I mean, the S&P is only, maybe 10% off. So the NASDAQ's off a little bit more, obviously. Russell's off considerably more. Dow's hanging in there, but it's 30 stocks. That's why I don't, it's not my favorite thing to look at is 30 stocks. So, the S&P is down big though today again. So I don't know what you think about that, but to me, I still think like we need to test at least 4,000, see if you got any real buyers there. Maybe 3,800 comes into play, and again, SPOOs are at making new lows here in the day and for the day as we speak. So again, not a bullish market here today. And again, I was surprised. Well, I'm not, because it's the first trading day, right? They try to, the animal spirits get going again, but I think Give me like I would have loved to seen a washout this morning. Give me a washout to buy, freak them out. It's super slow and they're just selling slowly. After a big down day Monday, there was, we barely got up to 41.61 there, Bob. So, I don't know.
Somebody else talked about, speaking of elites, something in the European markets about a Norway, I don't know if it was the sovereign fund of Norway, but just a giant I'm out order hit that European market last night.
Really?
So yeah, I mean, this gets real interesting when big chunks.
Maybe it was Zelensky, cashing out his.
I want to know who's auditing his offshore accounts. Like, how do
I've read you threw up that number 530. I've read he's got 850 offshore, 850 million. So why wouldn't he? I mean,
it doesn't.
Maybe I should start saying, hey, I need 8 billion a month to run my country, the Matt and Bob country. So Biden, why don't you just send me 8 billion a month? Because why not? And then you see the videos over the weekend of like, I don't know if you saw that video of Philly. It was like a really it looked like Gotham City, man. It was creepy. What, like the night world of some of these cities right now, it's rough. I mean, these places are not recovering. The New Yorks, the San Franciscos, the Chicagos, right? The cities are hurting, don't you think? And that's what the elites want. They want the pain in the cities. But a lot of those people, again, Miami, they're saying the rents now are on the scale, and they never have been, of San Francisco, what that used to be. Because, everything's different this time, Bob. Everything's different.
Okay.
Prices are.
My grandfather used to say, piss in one hand and wish in the other. See which one fills up first. I kind of feel we're in that type of moment here.
Yeah.
Especially with the amount of rhetoric of people saying that the bottom is in. The bottom is in. We haven't even sniffed this thing long term.
We haven't even seen any pain. But doesn't mean we can't rally either. But
no,
again,
for sure. And again, just quickly here, back to some of these momentum levels on the monthly. Hold on a second. Let me just fire them off for you. Write them down. If you're at home, if you're playing at home, you need to write these down. If I could find it in I got to tell you, at least said, you look hangover. I am hungover. You know what I say about Sundays, Matt? It's overtime for professional partiers. Sunday. All right, Spoos. Hold on. System processing. Come on. That momentum, 42.27 monthly. Russell, momentum level 20.07. I mean, they are hell and gone from that. NASI 13.705 and Dow Jones 33.689. You need to write that down someplace on your trade desk where you can refer to it for the rest of the month, because if we get to anywhere near any of those, it's going to be a great sell opportunity.
By the way, the SPOO high was 48.09 early in 2022. And we are at 40.96. 20%, Bob, is somewhere around 960. And that takes you down to about 38.50, 40, somewhere in there, right? So that would be technically a bear market. So again, we're not even in a technical bear market, which some people who believe that number's 20%. In the SPOOs. Now the NASDAQ, we're off, but again, it's actually rallying here. We keep just bouncing.
Yep. All right. And again, as this is Fed week, realize that what the market is saying today, that December of 23, that's going to be a 3.5% rate.
Yep.
And it's still under 1. So pay attention. Sometimes it's right there in front of you, Matt, in plain sight. All right, that's all I got, Matt.
All you got. Keep it a quick one today.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lee. Please visit us at marketvitals.io. Please share, retweet, plagiarize the broadcast, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Right. Peace out.